Hello guys. In our previous video, we understood the concept of skewness, and we understood the fact that skewness could be visualized or measured. In today's class, we will be looking at the concept of standard deviation and coefficient of variation. To do that, let us first understand the data set before us. We have donut prices in New York dollars and in pesos. All right, so we need to, first of all, find the mean of New York dollars and the mean of pesos, then calculate its standard variation, and then find the coefficient of variation for these currency values. Coefficient of variation is a popular concept used in financial analysis or economic analysis to understand the strength of currency pairs. So quickly, I'll just clear up what I have here while we go right into the calculations quickly. To find our mean, we'll do equals to average, select average, and highlight all of the values in New York dollars and click on enter. To calculate for pesos, just drag in to see the peso values, the mean peso value. For standard deviation, yes, you can already imagine that there is a function to calculate standard deviation. So we'll type in equals and type STDEV, and then we'll see standard deviation.p and standard deviation.s. How do we know which one is the right standard deviation to use? Standard deviation.p represents population. Standard deviation.s represents sample. Now, how do you know your data set is a population or a sample? Let's say you walk into a training hall or a training institute, say like a school, and you are able to meet the chancellor, the vice chancellor, the dean, the head of department, the entire students. Nobody fell sick that day. No, every student on that campus had, or on that entire university, had a course that day, and they are all present. The cleaners, the non-academic staff, even the popular goat and dog of that school was present. Then what you have is a population. But in a situation where you are trying to perform a survey and you walk into the engineering department of that school to perform a survey, what you have is a sample. Even if you walk up to 5 faculties of the school, what you have is a survey, is a sample rather. Even if you are able to cover the deans, the HOD, and all the students, what you have is a sample, because there's likelihood you did not meet all of the HODs on seat, you did not meet all of the deans on seats, you did not meet all of the students in class. But that doesn't mean it is difficult to get a population. Let's say you walk into a small company of 20 staff, inclusive of management and staff of that company, all right? If you are able to meet every person seated, or you have the data of every person in that company, then what you have is a population. Now that that has been explained, what we have in our data set is a sample, because there are lots of donut stores in New York City, but we have just roughly about 10 numbers of donut prices in New York. So what we have is a sample. So in that case, if we are calculating standard deviation, we would be looking at the standard deviation.s. That is the standard deviation for sample. So I'll click on that, double click on it, and highlight all the values for my New York dollar and click on enter. To find the standard deviation for pesos, I would simply highlight, and I have a value for pesos. Now, let us calculate the coefficient of variation. We have seen that the price in dollar and price in value in pesos vary a lot. It varies a lot because pesos is pesos and dollar is dollar. Pesos seem to have high number, 103 mean, and a standard deviation of 61 in mean. Unlike dollar that is just 5 and in standard deviation is 3. So does that mean that the currency peso has currency is poor? Let us check that out using coefficient of variation. So to calculate that, I'll simply divide the standard deviation by the mean. So equal standard deviation value divided by the mean, and click on enter. And I have 0.60. Let me drag it through to pesos to see if these currency pairs vary. And it's still 0.60. So it simply means that if you buy donuts in pesos for $18, you are not so much difference. That the currency is not so much different from someone who is buying donuts in at $1 in New York. All right, so the strength of pesos and the strength of dollar is almost same using coefficient of variation. As regards donut price though. All right, I'll stop here for now.